The Allen Perspective.
We're at Thorn today, sitting down with Kiel. Getting tattooed, it means a lot to me, man, because it's something I go through a lot, so I'm excited for this. You want to introduce yourself real quick, and we'll get ripping.
Sure. My name's Kiel. I'm the owner at Thorn Tattoo Studios here in Greenville, North Carolina. Everybody come in, want a tattoo. We're also doing some community work and having an event down at his place, which is Holistico. Today's our grand opening, which is a very special day. So this is not only special for him, he's getting a tattoo, but for me to be able to give it to him. So you guys will be able to see that and then tune in on some of the conversation, and I hope this is an interesting experience for you.
How's it feel to have your shop full, bro? Every booth is full right now.
It's a dream come true. It really is. We put a lot of work and time into this thing.
Yeah.
So, for it to kind of come the way it,
That's cool.
To come to fruition like this is definitely like a vision realized.
Yeah.
So basically, man, I'm just gonna run through some bloodlines and stuff like this, just to hold like the space and the clouds and everything. I'm gonna focus mostly on this eye and capturing the details there, and then we'll start doing the details and then running up and creating the depth for the roots and
Just putting your layers down.
Yeah, putting the layers in there, man. So
Layer away, my dude.
how long have you been in the hemp industry?
So it's kind of funny, man. I was buying timber on my own and was doing well at that. Went through a lawsuit. Prior to that, I was getting pretty desperate about these cluster headaches, which is what you're doing this tattoo to represent, right? And they're also known as a suicide headache. And so I was not in a good place, and that lawsuit, was not putting me in a good place. So between just constant abuse in the head, those things, it's thought to be the most pain a human can ever experience. I was getting pretty desperate. My wife was like, dude, you used to smoke weed. Why don't you see if weed will help? And so started smoking, and not so much for the pain side, but from the aspect of depression, PTSD, anxiety, it was helping quite a bit. But in that newfound relief I was getting from cannabis, I realized that it could be a tool versus just like a recreational thing that I used it for as a kid, right? So the stigma around it, especially here in North Carolina, is like I knew I had to get involved, and I knew I had to help people access the plant, and that's kind of where it came from. And my wife, actually, to top it all off, that was just how I got back into weed. But then we went to watch The Lion King when they remade it. I got high as shit. We went in a movie theater that gives you alcohol and like food and stuff. I was like, damn, stoners need a place to go watch a movie, like a stoner theater, right? Then I was like, well, logistically that doesn't work out to make a lot of money probably, at least in the area that I'm at. It's just a town of 1,200, right? So I was like, why not just become a dispensary of sorts and start working towards that? That's where we landed.
That's awesome,
That
man.
Greenville shop special. They're all special, but that Greenville shop's it's like, it's making some bigger impacts beyond the plants. Just the people that are going in there and like hanging out with each other and spending time with each other is stuff you don't typically see in the world we live in now. And it's created a really unique environment. You'll see that later on. Like, be the most gangster dude in the world hanging out with the most nerdy guy ever and playing chess against each other. And
Oh, you play chess?
I don't.
You
I'm
don't.
just giving you an example of like Warren over there plays chess.
I'll play some chess with you.
I know you play chess. Yeah, that's how you spend a lot of time, huh?
I did spend quite a lot of time
Working out in chess.
working out in chess, man. And the origin of my story as far as tattooing goes is I spent time in Colorado correctional facilities and just come from a long life of, foster care and boys' homes and group homes and then eventually jail, and then you keep going
Sure,
and then you get to
you got
prison.
trapped in the system.
So when I got inside, obviously I played a lot of chess in there and did a lot of drawing. I kind of got a little support, but it wasn't enough to be comfortable in that environment. And so I just kind of sat around and did a bunch of drawings and stuff for people and got stamps and food. And, that's how I would kind of feed myself for a while. And then I was lucky enough to be able to kick it with my boy Y.O., Marcellus Crowley. And he was getting ready to get out and get back into the street. And so they needed another tattoo artist for because obviously everything's like super segregated in there and all that. So I was like, you know what, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go ahead and get down on it. And he gave me an opportunity, and I just took it and didn't look back. And
So you got out of the correctional facility and went straight to tattooing.
straight to tattoo.
Through this guy, he gave you this opportunity.
Yeah. So.
He had a shop set up or
No,
what?
so I got out and I would tattoo in my dad's basement.
Yeah.
That's where I started.
He was just showing you the ropes there, though.
Right, and then I started to, feel confident enough to where I was like, okay, well I can get into another tattoo shop. Let me try it. And so I went to one shop and it was new. It was an army guy and he wasn't a tattoo artist. He was just kind of learning. And so we started, working with him, but then it was problematic. So I left there and ended up going up the street to this tattoo shop called Bad Penny. And Bad Penny is owned by a female tattoo artist from London, I believe, or the UK, somewhere over there. And she gave me my first run over at Bad Penny, and I worked there for a little bit and started to improve and get better and better. And she gave me a job at a big shop, which is called Heebie Jeebies in Colorado Springs, which is the second
It's a good name.
longest running tattoo shop.
And my mom says that all the time, like, you give me the heebie-jeebies or something. Yeah.
Yes.
I like that shit.
Yeah, she's just like really, really open and supportive, and she always kind of kept me with opportunities. And my mother died while I was working there, and then I kind of fell back into the same thing, same life and all that, and cleaned up, and then ran into my boy Spider, and my boy Spider, she taught me the game with the hustle, out doing tattoo conventions, and it allowed me to shed my ego a little bit and actually be able to take a look into the industry as a whole. And then I had to think, okay, well, how am I going to contribute, to this industry? And, from there, I just kept trying to learn and grow and be a respectable artist, take care of my clients, stuff like that. And that led me to working in Charlotte with Duchess from VH1's Black Ink Crew. And once I got down with her, I got to learn about business. And,
That's what I was about to say. I like something I noticed about you right away is you got a good business mind about you. And I told Warren, I speculated after our conversation, you picked up a lot of that on the inside.
Thank you.
But it's like, that's where I know a lot of people got their education from, is from prison. Is that where you got your business? Like, or where did that strictly from that woman in Charlotte, or what?
My father's business savvy.
Yeah, so you picked a lot of it up from him.
Yeah, so he was always investing and putting his money towards things and taking risks and always encouraging and being like, hey, you gotta try this, you gotta try to be, think about business, what you're gonna contribute to society, what are you doing for your community? So initially that's where that comes from, the ideas of that. And then when I went to Charlotte and started working with Duchess, the ideas of those things became real when I
Saw it in action.
put it in action, put it in motion. So then it was
The
like,
biggest thing you said there was community for me. Like, that's what I figured out. Is like, you focus on building out a community, the community's gonna bless you.
and I feel like you're right about that, because you can do the very best you can by yourself, and kind of have a small circle and things like
Get
that.
overlooked by everybody else.
Definitely,
And that's not good for business, right? You might have a happy life still, but if you're actually taking a real stab at business, you gotta have a larger community than just your people.
definitely. Yeah, you
'Cause
want
your people ain't gonna pay your bills.
and if you want, it's like if you're in the service industry, you're providing a service for somebody, you want to be able to have that service, speak to value. And then when you treat your clients with the same value and respect, they're going to come back and the word of mouth's going to get out, and then you double up on that and create an environment that's creatively stimulating, then things really start to change and kind of move into a different avenue. I think that is really important. Well, I like to help people too. I think I just have this kind of caring.
I can't wait till Warren plays that back and watches that because he's not in here for that.